You describe, Indra, this wonderfully quick and seemingly easy assimilation into America. You have a great description of falling in love with the New York Yankees and how you cried when Thurman Munson, the Yankees catcher, died in a plane crash is very touching, but it suggests how quickly this young woman from India had become a part of American life. And I want to ask you whether it was really that easy, what the difficulties were, and then secondly, just as important, would that be possible today? Are we as open and welcoming a country as we were in 1978 when you were a young woman arriving here?
I'm going to answer the second part first before I go to the first one, David. The second part, I'd say, if you look at all the countries in the world, the United States is still the most open, it's still the most welcoming country of any in the world, bar none. So let me put that to bed and then get to the first question. When I came to the US in 1978, even in a university like Yale, they didn't have a big infrastructure to support international students, to make them feel welcome, to teach them how to get a mailbox, open a bank account. All those had to be done in those days. They didn't teach us how to shop. I didn't know how to go to a grocery store and pick up groceries because I'd never been to a self serve store. I'd never been to a store where you have an honor system where you put things in a cart and you pay at checkout. I didn't know that yogurt was curds, which is what I was used to eating. So I was a complete novice when I landed in the United States. And the first 2 or 3 days were lonely is an understatement. I must have cried all the time saying, I thought this place was going to be noisy. I thought everybody was going to be bustling around. And that's what I've seen in movies. Yet New Haven, which hadn't yet opened to Yale, because it was still a week away, was quiet. All of graduate studies was like lonely and cavernous. It took a while to get used to it. But once you got the bug, once you got the American bug, it bit you really hard and sort of grabbed you in. And the Yankees at that time was the were the team that had come from 14 games behind the Red Sox and the famous Bucky Dent um, uh, incident that caused the Yankees to clinch. And I was watching all of that. And through the Yankees, I fell in love with American sport, American baseball, the New York Yankees, and overall American culture.